Today, I want to talk about something that brings joy to millions of people around the world. Something that has been a passion and a pastime for centuries. It's a love that runs deep in the hearts of anglers everywhere, and it's about fishing, especially fishing in freshwater. Whether you're standing on the edge of a peaceful lake, paddling along a winding river, or simply casting a line from a boat on a serene pond, freshwater fishing is a truly special experience that connects people to nature, to adventure, and to themselves in ways that few other activities can. Now, I know some of you may be wondering, what's so special about fishing? Isn't it just sitting around and waiting for a fish to bite? Well, yes and no. Sure, there's waiting involved, but that's just one small part of the experience. Freshwater fishing is about so much more than just catching fish. It's about the journey, the environment, the thrill of the chase, and the connection to nature. It's about the memories you make, the lessons you learn, and the quiet moments that leave you feeling more at peace with the world. So let's break it down and see what makes this pastime so magical. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a crystal clear lake at dawn. The air is cool and fresh, and the scent of pine trees and damp earth hanging in the breeze. The water is calm, like a giant mirror, reflecting the sky above. The only sounds you hear are the soft lapping of the water against the shore, the calls of the distant birds, and maybe the slight splash of water as a fish breaks the surface in search of a snack. This is the world of freshwater fishing. The beauty of nature is everywhere, whether you're on a small creek tucked in the woods or a large, sprawling lake in the middle of nowhere. Freshwater environments are some of the most diverse and vibrant ecosystems on the planet, home to a wide variety of plants, animals, and of course fish. And each one of those settings offers something different. The peaceful solitude of a quiet pond, the excitement of casting a line into a fast-moving river, or the vastness of a lake that seems to stretch on forever. Every fishing spot has its own charm, and that's part of the adventure. Being in nature while fishing is like hitting the reset button on your mind. The stress of school, sports, or whatever might be going on in your life seems to melt away as you become more in tune with your surroundings. You start to notice the little things, the way the sunlight dances on the water's surface, the sound of leaves crunching under your foot, or the way the wind shifts and changes throughout the day. Fishing forces you to slow down, breathe, and simply appreciate the world around you. But of course, fishing wouldn't be the same without the fish themselves. Freshwater fish come in all shapes and sizes, and each species is fascinating in its own right. When you think of fishing, you might picture a big bass breaking through the surface of the water, or maybe you imagine the flash of a sleek trout darting through a clear mountain stream. The thrill of seeing that fish take your bait is something every angler remembers. Take, for example, the bass, one of the most popular freshwater fish to catch. The largemouth bass, with its distinctive greenish body and huge mouth, is known for its strength and willingness to fight when hooked. The moment you feel the tug on your line and that fish takes off, you can't help but feel your heart race. The bass will dart, jump, and dive, making you work hard to reel it in. It's a battle of wills between you and the fish. And that's part of the magic of fishing. You never know what's going to happen next. Will it be a big one? Or maybe a small but speedy one? The element of surprise is always there. Then there are the smaller fish like panfish, bluegill, sunfish, crappie, which are often easier to catch but still full of personality. These fish are colorful and fun, and catching them can be just as exciting as landing a trophy bass. Let's not forget the thrill of fishing for catfish or walleye, or even the legendary northern pike. Each fish species brings its own unique challenge and excitement. But fishing isn't just about the fish themselves. It's about the adventure of trying to find them. Whether you're fishing from a boat in the middle of a lake, casting from the shore, or wading in a river, you're constantly learning, adapting, and improving your skills. Different fish like different things. Some prefer the deep, cold waters of lakes and rivers, while others like to hide in the shadows under fallen trees or in rocky crevices. Figuring out where the fish are, what they're eating, and what lure or bait to use is a puzzle. Every fishing trip is a new opportunity to solve that puzzle, to learn something new, and to experience that small thrill of discovery when you finally land a fish. Fishing is more than just sitting around with a rod in your hand. It's the chase, the pursuit of the fish. That makes it exciting. You're always thinking about where the fish might be hiding, what they might be eating, and how you can catch them. Every cast is an opportunity. The tension builds as your line hits the water and you wait. It could take a second, it could take hours, but you're always hopeful, always ready for that tug. When it comes, it's like an explosion of energy. And let's talk about that moment when you feel the bite. Your heart skips a beat, you can hear that line running through the reel, and the rush of that fish as it takes off. You're in the zone now. Everything else seems to fade away. The world narrows down to just you and the fish. The fight is on, and it could go on for what feels like forever. Will the fish get away, or will you be the one to bring it in? That is the magic of fishing. The thrill of the chase, the uncertainty, and the excitement. Then, when you finally land the fish, there's that sense of triumph. You hold it in your hands, admiring its colors, its strength, its beauty. Maybe you take a picture, and maybe you carefully release it back into the water, or maybe you bring it home for dinner. Either way, the connection you've made with that fish, if only for a brief moment, feels special. Fishing is also a great teacher. It teaches you patience, something that's hard to come by in our fast-paced world. You might spend hours casting and reeling, waiting for that right moment. Sometimes, you won't catch anything at all, but that's part of the lesson. Fishing is about understanding that not everything in life comes easily, and that persistence pays off. It's about accepting that sometimes the fish just aren't biting, and you have to be okay with that. And sometimes, when they do bite, it feels like the reward for your patience is just that much sweeter. Fishing teaches you to observe and appreciate the small things, to adapt, and to make decisions based on what the environment is telling you. It teaches you how to read the water, understand the weather, and listen to the rhythms of nature. All of this comes together to make you a better angler, and a better person too. If you've never tried fishing before, I want to encourage you to give it a shot. You don't need to be an expert, have a lot of fancy equipment to get started. A simple fishing rod, some kind of bait, and a love for nature are all you really need to get started. And don't worry about being good at it right away. Fishing is about the experience, not about the catch. You might start with small fish in a local pond or lake, or maybe you'll head to a nearby river and try your luck. The important thing is to get out there, to cast your line, and to start enjoying the natural world around you. If you stick with it, you'll soon start to notice the beauty in places that you fish, the thrill of the chase, and the deep sense of satisfaction that comes from spending time in nature. And who knows, maybe one day you'll have your own fishing stories to tell. The one that got away, the personal best that you landed, or the time that you spent a whole day on the water and came back with nothing but a heart full of memories. Fishing isn't just a hobby, it's a lifestyle. A way of connecting to the world in a deeper, more meaningful way. So I invite you to take up the rod and give it a try. The world of freshwater fishing is waiting for you, and I promise it's one of the most rewarding adventures you'll ever embark on.